Now the fun starts. You've taken control, you've started getting education, and you're connecting with like-minded people. That's all very lovely, but the rubber only hits the road when you start accumulating wealth, and that means moving to step 4, acquire some assets. How you acquire assets to give you both income and capital gains very much depends on where you're starting from. If you're a complete beginner, it's a case of taking a careful look at your income and outgoings and seeing where you can make some cuts to free up some cash. But be careful, don't turn this into the financial equivalent of a crash diet. If you deny yourself every little luxury, you'll never sustain it. Instead, play with your own psychology to form a powerful habit. Here's how. Open a separate bank account and call it Your Name Wealth Account. For example, Graham Rowan Wealth Account. Make it a bank you don't normally go to that has a physical branch that's easily accessible. Then decide a percentage of your income that you're going to save. I suggest a minimum of 10%, whatever your age, rising to 20% plus if you're in your 40s or 50s. Then, every time you're paid, walk into the bank and deposit that percentage of your income. And I mean every time. If you're paid monthly, it's a monthly visit to the bank. You get a quarterly bonus as well? Add another 4 visits each year. You own a business? Every time you take salary or dividends, off you trot to top up your wealth account. I call it the walk of wealth. Yes, you could do it online, but that's not the issue. It doesn't have the same psychological effect as making a physical detour solely to add to your personal wealth. Notice how quickly the account balance increases, and now your walk of wealth turns into a swagger. The only downside is the pathetic return on investment you'll be getting, probably between 0.1 and 0.3%, but don't worry, the cash won't be here for long. Once you get to £10,000, the world of investing starts to open up to you. You can invest through a tax wrapper like an ISA. If you've been a member of the Elite Investor Club and made a couple of investments in unlisted companies through a platform like Crowdcube, you also open up the world of unregulated investments, with returns in the 8 to 12% per annum range. But what if you already have funds sitting in a savings account or in your company? We have property and land-based investments starting at as little as £8,000 with returns from 10% a year to 40% in 2 years. But to gain access to the full range of available investments, you now need to satisfy one of 2 conditions from the Financial Conduct Authority: to be a high net worth individual or a sophisticated investor. High net worth means you earn £100,000 a year, or you have investable assets of £250,000 outside your main home and pension. A sophisticated investor means you've either been certified by a regulated advisor, or you're a director of a company with a turnover of £1 million plus, or you've been a member of Elite Investor Club for 6 months and made those 2 investments I was talking about in unlisted companies where, for example, you find them on Crowdcube. Either of those qualifications opens up our full portfolio to you, including bonds, loan notes, offering anything from 8 to 14% a year with strong security that's usually against property-related assets. Can you see how your wealth will grow with assets like these? One of our most popular investments, dementia care home suites, can throw off nearly £6,000 a year. Just 5 of those, costing less than 300k, would produce £30,000 a year in entirely passive income. That's a higher income than you could buy with a conventional annuity if you had the maximum allowable pension of £1 million. And you still own the assets without handing over your hard-earned cash to the annuity provider and hoping you live long enough to make it worthwhile. We have a whole range of investments that give returns from 8% over 1 year to 40% over 2 years. Imagine how those kind of returns could supercharge your net worth, and it's all entirely passive income. Once you've signed the paperwork and transferred the funds, there's nothing to do but sit back and wait for the money to arrive in your bank account. Only by acquiring a portfolio of income-generating assets can you hope to achieve genuine financial independence. But there's one critical area of wealth creation that we haven't covered yet. In the next episode, I'll show you the best way to give your wealth a massive boost: building and selling businesses. I'll see you soon. But what if you're a modestly paid employee in the corporate world? I urge you to find some sort of commercial enterprise you can start on a part-time basis while keeping the day job.